Hi everyone. Hey, we're up here looking for spawning salmon, and you look at a place like this and maybe you don't think too much of it. This looks like a little creek rolling through the forest, but there is a whole legacy of things that have happened here. And you can see these high spots where I'm at, all this gravel. This is all caused by salmon spawning. So when they come up in here, they'll actually make their reds right here. And one thing I'm seeing here that's probably not real healthy, it's healthy in a way but unhealthy in another way, is when you get too many salmon in a small area, what happens is they dig these huge pits like this pit in front of me. So what'll happen is a female salmon will come in, she'll lay her eggs, and typically a female salmon, everyone will hold about 3,000 to 5,000 eggs. And they don't drop all the eggs at once. What they'll do is they'll drop maybe 1,000 eggs, and then they'll move to another little red. And a red is a bed where they lay their eggs. But then they'll lay another 1,000. So one fish might create as many as, 3, 4, 5, 6 beds to lay their eggs. But when you see these great big pits like this, it tells me that there was so many fish in here that a female come in, laid some eggs, then another one came in. And the bad thing is when a second one comes in and tries to lay where the first one did, when they turn over on their side and fan, they blow all the other eggs out, so they won't make it. And so in a lot of respects they kill all the eggs, unmeaningly of course, but that's just what happens. So all these high spots right here are salmon reds, and there's another deep pit over here. So it's interesting. I'll show you all, and I know a lot of you all know this, and it's something that you all know. So if you can imagine a female salmon coming in, imagine this is their tail. So you got their tail in the water, so when they make a red, it makes sense. Like if they were to fan like this while they're sitting up, they would just propel themselves forward and they wouldn't disturb the bottom at all. So what they'll do is they'll lay on their sides and then they'll fan like this, and then you can see how that disturbs the bottom. And what it'll do is it'll actually make a crevice. And so what is the most important thing with salmon eggs being fruitful and actually making it? If you can imagine a salad bowl like this, and then if you can put that salad bowl underneath the water so that the rushing water is coming over the salmon bowl, but then you have the salad bowl underneath. So the female will lay the eggs in the bowl. That's why they create a hole. And so what that does is it protects those eggs. So you have your current coming over the top of the eggs, but yet the eggs are in the salad bowl, so they're not getting wiped down river. And that's typically what a salmon will do when it lays its eggs, because the aeration of those eggs is really the number one key factor to those eggs surviving. And you can see the little hole. The shadows aren't very good, but anyway, it's really interesting to look at some of these places. And this place has probably been here for, who knows, thousands, maybe 10,000s of years. But there is a point to where too many salmon can be destructive. And this place, I come up every fall. I'll come up and I'll make y'all some videos of the salmon in here. But it's obviously been very, very productive. Still really strong runs of salmon make it up into here, even this little teeny tiny creek. But what will happen this fall is the females will come in and they'll lay flat on some of these deep areas like this, and they'll fan, but they won't get anywhere because they've dug down to, a lot of times, right down to the bedrock. So what they'll do, if the water level will allow it, is they'll come in here and they'll start fanning all this gravel where we're at right here. You can see how deep it is. And so they will fan this stuff off down to the fine gravel. See how it's getting finer as we go? And then they'll fluff this fine gravel over the top of their eggs to protect them so they don't float away. But yet the eggs are going to get aeration coming through that fine gravel. So by the end of this year, all these gravel beds will change. And every year I've been here, all these high rises and gravel beds will change. So at the end of the spawn this year, the gravel bed we're standing on right now, it might be down there, and that gravel bed right there might be up there. So the salmon, even though they're in the exact same spot, they change their reds every year so that it's more appropriate, so that their eggs have a better survival rate. So it's just amazing, Mother Nature, what she does, and how these fish know what to do, and they're just being good moms, I guess, just like all you moms out there. They're just being good moms and making sure their babies are taken care of. So anyway, just a little trivia for you in a beautiful place. I was hoping there'd be a few salmon in here, but it's a little bit early for them. They're just not up this high yet. And anyway, you all have a super blessed day. Send you a great big huge smile from up here on some salmon beds in southeast Alaska. All right, we'll see you all. Okay, bye.